Hi everyone, welcome back to My Financial Climb, where I'm documenting my financial progress and journey as well as talk things related to personal finance and investing and retirement planning. My name's Brett. Today we're talking about
economic stimulus plan,
relief payments,
stimulus checks,
economic impact payments. These were what was known as the checks in the mail.
Stimulus checks,
coronavirus stimulus payments.
That's right, stimulus checks. Now, I've been getting some questions from coworkers, friends, asking me what they should do with their check or the payment, electronic payment that they're receiving. How should I spend it? Should I invest it? Should I spend it all on toilet paper? The easy answer is it depends, except for maybe that last one. Don't do that. Now with my friends, I have a better idea of how they stand financially, so I am able to give them a better idea of what I think that they should do. But giving advice to a broad YouTube audience, it's hard to just give one answer. So I'm going to say it depends. But we can discover some options that you have, and knowing your own situation, you'll be able to decide which one is probably best for you. Depending on where you stand financially, whether you have a job or not right now, your first option is very simple. It's your essentials. Make sure your food, water, shelter, all those things that you need are taken care of first. Whether you have an emergency fund, whether you still have your job, you don't have your job, take care of those first. Maybe you still have your job, but you don't have an emergency fund. Take care of essentials. Use that money to pay for those. Maybe you have lost your job, you don't have any income. Maybe you do have emergency savings saved up. Just add this on top of it and just don't spend it on anything else. If everything dwindles down and you're left with that stimulus money, you're going to want to need that instead of spending it on something else that you wish you hadn't done earlier. Your health is the most important part, so make sure that that's taken care of first. You and your family. Your second option is to throw it into your emergency fund. Now maybe you've already have one established, maybe you don't. If you do, just add it on top, and then if you need it, you have it. But if you don't have one established, maybe it's time to start getting that going, and you can use this money to go ahead and fund it up front, and then just continuously work on getting that funded more and more. We have no idea how long this is going to last, so we might as well be prepared. The third option you can do is to pay down debt, whether that's student loans, credit cards, car, whatever it is. This is if you already have your emergency fund established. It also matters if you still have your job or not. If you do have a job and you have your emergency fund in place, then yeah, it might be okay to start throwing some money down on some debt, or you can continue adding to your emergency fund. It's either option should be fine for you. If you have lost your job and you have your emergency fund in place, I still wouldn't be putting down on debt just yet. I wouldn't be throwing any money at debt if I didn't have a job, because you don't know if you'll need those funds or not. So keep that in mind. For those of you who are subscribed to me and are following along on my journey, I am actually going to be throwing it down on debt. Also, this might be the time to kind of evaluate how you feel with your current job situation. Do you feel like it's safe? Do you feel like it might be at risk? If this goes on for another month or two, evaluate that, because you don't want to be sitting in a risky position and then your job lets you go in 2 months and you weren't prepared for it and you had paid down on debt when you would have rather had it in emergency funds. So sit down and logically think about it. Take a moment, see if you are at risk, if you aren't at risk, because that could matter. Anybody subscribed to me who's trying to watch as I progress to build an abundance of wealth, I am going to be spending it on debt. I feel good about my position with my job, although it always makes you feel uncomfortable because it feels like anything can happen right now and nobody's safe, but that's how I'm choosing to spend my money. I don't have any emergency funds saved right now. I mean, I could come up with some cash if I were to need it, but it's not anything super liquid, just cash sitting in a money market account or something like that. So I would consider that more of a risky and aggressive play, but that's how I am choosing to handle it. I'm not saying that's the right way for everybody to handle it. That's just how I'm handling it. And it's because I am by myself. I don't have a family. I don't have anybody who I'm responsible for or who are dependent upon me. So I feel like I'm able to take that risk and that gamble. If I pay down my debt and then I end up losing my job and I have to spend on those credit cards again to continue living and pay for my expenses, then that's the risk that I'm willing to take. It's either way, I'm going to be in the same position. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Now, if you have someone, kids, pets, spouse, whomever, and they're depending on you, it's probably not the best choice to pay it down on debt without having an emergency fund. Think of others first. You're going to need to take care of them. The fourth option is investing. And yes, the market is down right now, and a lot of people are wanting to take advantage of that. I don't feel comfortable jumping all in right now if you don't have a bunch of other things taken care of, whether it's the emergency fund or you still have debt. I want to invest more than anybody else in the market right now. I want to take it and just dump everything I can into it. But right now, I don't think it's advisable still having debt. I am so close. I can almost taste it. I'm that close to being debt free. But I'm just sticking with my plan, continuing to leverage the debt that I have to invest in my 401k to get my at least company match, and then everything else is going towards debt. I'm going to maintain that until I'm finished, which will be very, very soon. But if you do have the emergency savings fund, you feel good with your current job position, I don't see any problems with throwing money at the market right now. You can throw it at whatever you want. You can throw it at stocks, ETFs, index funds, mutual funds, money markets, bonds, commodities, whatever you feel comfortable with, go for it. Knock yourself out. If you want to speculate and think it's going to drop a little bit further, then sure, wait for it to drop a little further as well and then invest at that point. But at least you have the money available to make that choice for yourself. You have the choice to get in now, you have the choice to wait, you have a choice to do whatever you want. You can invest it into yourself if you want to, not in the market, but buy books, teach yourself a different language. We're all inside right now, so you can invest that money into building skills for yourself. You can almost treat this as a reset and a new start on your life. Take the time now and do the research to figure out what it would take for you to finally start that business that you've been thinking about for so long. Take the time to do that. Do the research. Find out if it's possible, if you're in the position to make that jump right now. Treat this as a new, fresh start. If you want, if you're in that position, feel free to explore it. Anyway, that's what I think. You all have a better idea of your current situation and the risks levels that you're willing to take. You know the people who you're responsible for or not responsible for, so you're able to weigh everything and make your own choice. Sit down, think about it, make a wise decision, not make something that's totally rational, and move forward with it. Either way, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to be coming out with more content coming out soon. Like I said in a previous video, I have a lot of things happening in my life right now that I'm preparing for. I'm doing a lot of research, which means I'm going to have more material to put together videos to talk to you all about, whether it's 401ks, Roths. Been doing some looking into mutual funds lately, and trying to plan my next step. I want to be prepared so when it does flip, I'm able to go to the next step without having to do research and dabble around, figure out what I'm going to do. I want to already know what the next step is. So if you're interested in that, hit that subscribe button, follow along, and look out for my next videos. Thanks, guys.